Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel on the playlist of Life Be Lifing with me, Kadasiah Mwangi. So today basically I'll be going through my Mounjaro journey, which is a GLP-1 medication, and I'm just be sharing my experience and also just taking you through the advantages and the side effects of using the GLP-1, specifically Mounjaro on my side. And yes, later on, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments, and I could be able to address them in the part 2 of this particular series. I'll do a part 1 and a part 2 so that if there's any questions, I can be able to come back to them in the next part. So before I get into it, I'll go into my upbringing and my weight loss journey and how that has been before I go into explaining how my experience has been on Mounjaro. So when I was younger, I did, I think between the ages of 1 and 10, I was a very active child, I guess, running around and also just being in school and everything, so you have to be active. So I think I was very kind of in the right weight range between when I was 1 year and 10 years old. Yeah, because when I look at my pictures, I look like I'm okay. My weight was okay. But when it got when I got into teenagehood, I guess between 12, 13 and moving forward, I started struggling with my weight. Just I guess because of the things that I was eating. We moved to the city. Before, we were living kind of in the village area when I was much younger. But then when I was 10, we moved into the city, and then the types of food that we were eating kind of changed because we had access to not the healthier foods which you could just be able to get from the farm and the greens. It was mostly fast foods and all these fatty foods. And because I was young, of course, I did not understand the implications of taking all these foods. I was just like, I've been missing these foods all my life. I've never had the opportunity of kind of eating them and everything, and this is amazing. I'm living the life, I'm eating all these foods, but I didn't understand the implications of that they were having on my body. So before I knew it, by the time I was 13, 14, I'd gained a lot of weight, which was something I was not familiar with growing up. So when, for example, you're in a class, being in primary or being in high school, and you're like one of the most biggest girls in there, is just like, okay, it wasn't a concept that I really understood even at the time. Being a teenager, I was just like, this is just my body, this is how I am, and I was trying to navigate it. And of course, being like overweight, it comes with, for example, some kinds of discriminations that come to you, when for example, people are looking at you and all that. So I started experiencing that actually in my teenagehood, but I didn't really look into is it possible for me to lose weight at this age? At the time, I was just like trying to navigate life, being in school, trying to get the grades up and all that. But I think when I finished high school is when I started thinking, okay, maybe I need to lose some weight. I need to work on myself. So I remember being in a position where I used to go for runs with my small brother at the time. I don't know, he would remember this when he sees this, where I would ask him, let's go for a run at night, because that's the time that no one is going to see you. So I remember doing runs after high school, trying to lose the weight, trying to kind of fit in the mold and all that. And I didn't really reach a weight that I would be comfortable with, because of course there's the BMI and also how your body feels. You're supposed to be in a certain BMI range, and if you're not in that range, for example, maybe you're considered overweight. Yes. So when I entered uni, and there was all this movement of body positivity and being able to embrace different body types, it really encouraged me, because I was like, okay, I can embrace my plus size body. I can be able to embrace my journey and my weight, and just be happy with who I am. And for the longest time, I was okay. I didn't mind my weight. I was I could be able to embrace who I was at the time. And yeah, it just went okay. When I could see other people trying to lose weight, my friends and everyone else around me, I was just like, I'm okay. I was like honestly happy with being plus size and all that. So I think in the last year or so is when I started seeing my weight kind of go beyond what it has been. So I was getting into, of course, if you look at the BMI scale, I would be in the overweight side even now. But I was not feeling comfortable in my body. I was not feeling comfortable in how the clothes I have were fitting me. They were getting a little bit too tight. And the thing with this is, even when all this is happening, I'm getting my steps in. I try to do at least 3 to 4 times a week walking. I am trying to do intermittent fasting here and there to be able not to overfeed, just to be able to manage my weight. And it's something that I've really struggled with, I think, for the longest time. So when I started seeing online people being like, people that I follow being like, okay, I'm using this GLP-1 and it's helped me lose weight, I started doing a little bit of research on it to be able to see, okay, can I be able to get, this medication that will help me in my journey of losing weight? Because for the longest time I've been trying to lose weight, it's not happening. So if something could be able to help me in this journey, I would really appreciate that. So I did a little bit of research, looked online, and I was able to see that there were different providers where I am, because at the moment I'm in the UK, and even I think in Kenya, where I'm originally from. Because I follow several influencers there, I could see that it's also available there. So I did a bit of research here. I was able to see the providers that could be able to provide for me, and I think even the NHS here in the UK, they're able to provide that for free to some people who are really struggling with their weight. So those are people with a BMI of 40 and above. So at the moment, I was having a BMI of around 30 something, I think 31, which if you look at the BMI scale, that's overweight. So because of that, I was able to sign up for the program, and this is not the free one, this is a paid one, because for you to be able to get the free one from the NHS, you have to be BMI of 40 and above. So I'm not in that range, I'm a bit lower, so I had to go private. So my journey on the medication, in the beginning I was just like, okay, I'm going to try this GLP-1, but I don't think it's gonna work because I have always tried to lose weight. It hasn't happened. So I was just like, I'm gonna try it. It might not work, it might work, but let me give it a try for a few months. If it doesn't work, I'll just stop using it and go back to whatever I was doing, just doing my steps, and I see how that goes. So I started my journey in March of this year, and it has been an interesting one. So even as I talk about it through this episode, in the beginning I was a bit scared. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's gonna happen. Am I going to be okay? Should I do this? Because it's just something that is still in the works. I think there's still investigations going on around it as to how it affects the body. So I wouldn't recommend anyone to take any advice from me, even as I speak on this. My advice would be seek advice from a medical professional before you think about choosing a GLP-1. Get advice from them, see if it is the right fit for you before you do anything. So this is just my own experience. It has nothing to do with me giving advice. It has just everything for me to give my experience, so that you can be able to see, is this something that I want to try? If it's not something that you want to try, it's also okay. If you're on the overweight side, because if you're underweight, the providers are not able to give it to you. If you're like below a BMI of 22, they're not able to give that to you. They're only able to give you if you're at a certain BMI, so that you can be able to get to your desired, not desired weight, but recommended weight. Yes. So when I fill out the questionnaire, because there's a questionnaire that you fill where they ask you a bunch of questions to be able to see if you are eligible for the medication. when I was filling it in, and I gave all my measurements, and they were able to confirm my weight. After that, they were like, yeah, you can be able to start and we will give you support. So the provider that I'm using is able to give you support each and every step of the way, asking you questions, asking you how you're feeling as you go along it, and just working with you, so that if there's any issue as you're taking it, they're able to address it. If there's anything that needs to be adjusted when it comes to the dosages, they're able to advise you on that. Yes, so as I was saying, I started my journey in March. I started on 2.5 mg of Mounjaro, and in the when I started using with the 2.5, because that's the beginner dose that they give you, so most people are not able to see, I think, results on that. And maybe I should mention that I've been a very slow responder to it. I check online and I see other people being able to lose massive amounts of weight in such a short time. But for me, I've been a slow responder, so my response has been really slow. So when I started using the 2.5 mg, because what Mounjaro is supposed to help you with is the appetite suppression. So that's the main thing that it helps you with. So for me, on the 2.5 mg, my appetite suppression was not that much, and I really had to use willpower to be able not to overeat. So what I replaced that with is I did a lot of walks. I tried to do, I think in that first month I was doing almost 10,000 steps 5 days a week. I was trying to do my weight classes, my body pump classes when I could. So yeah, I could say that 2.5 mg, yeah, I don't think it was that much of an appetite suppressant, I would say. And then I went to the 5 mg. So the 5 mg was quite it was stronger than the 2.5 mg, and I could feel my appetite being suppressed, which is of course what we are all looking for, so that we are not overeating, and so our body is able to kind of burn the fat when we are doing the exercise that we are doing. So on Mounjaro, you would be advised, you still need to exercise, you still need to get your steps in, because as it's helping you with suppressing the appetite, you're able to work out and not get hungry as fast. Because what happens most of the times when we work out is that we want to eat more, because the body has burnt the body has burned all this energy. So you need to kind of refuel, take more food, so that you're able to gain your energy back. So with Mounjaro, of course, it helps you because you're not eating as much. You can be able to exercise, but of course, what I should mention as well is taking your vitamins. So from day one, I was taking my vitamins. Those vitamins that will be able to kind of substitute some of the foods that I was not able to eat, because on Mounjaro it helps you to remove some of the foods from your diet. So for example, if you are someone who loves carbs like me, I love carbs, you're able to reduce the desire for carbs. So because of that, of course, there's some essential vitamins that your body might be missing. So I'm taking vitamins as well. So of course, that is something that you will need to discuss with your doctor in terms of what vitamins you need to take. For me, I've been taking vitamins to do with calcium, vitamins to do with collagen, that's to do with my joints and also elasticity of my body. I've been taking vitamins for hair, vitamins for nails, vitamins for my skin. So I've basically been taking vitamins that I feel my body needs and that I may be lacking because of some foods that I'm not eating at the moment. Because Mounjaro helps you to kind of look into eating the cleaner kinds of foods, greens, fiber, and just all the good things, which is a good thing. Yes, so I would say that was my experience on the 5 mg. So moving up to 7.5 mg, I would say I started getting the side effects. So the side effects came with the 7.5 mg, where I was feeling a little bit nauseated, where I was feeling a little bit weak because I feel I was eating a little bit much less than I was before. So because of that, even like I was really struggling to do the gym at that time. I was struggling to get my steps in at that time, and of course my body weight is now kind of stalling because I'm not doing the exercises or getting my steps in as I should. So I would say 7.5 mg was really hard on me. I really struggled on that. And then because of how much I struggled on the 7.5 mg, I decided, okay, let me do another month of 7.5 because of how much I struggled with it, because I was afraid of moving to 10 and having kind of harsher side effects. So I stayed on the 7.5 mg for 2 months. And I think during that time is when my weight kind of, so between 2.5 mg and 5 mg, I think I lost 5 kilos. Between the two 7.5 ones, I also lost 5 kilos. And at the moment, I'm on the 10 mg, and I've done that for 2 weeks. So the side effects for me came mostly with the 7.5 mg. With the 10 mg one, I'm not seeing that much of a side effects as I did before. I would say even for this one, maybe I would say even the appetite suppressant is maybe a little bit less than the 7.5, I would say, but because the weight that I have to lose. So at the moment, when I started my journey, I was just fluctuating between 85 and 87. And because I was just about to go to 87, which was going to be really high for me, I was just like, okay, I need some help now. So that's why I started the Mounjaro. So between now and between the time I started and now, I have lost 10 kgs. So at the moment, I am currently at 75 kgs at the moment. My goal is to be at the healthy weight. So the healthy weight for me, depending on my height, because the healthy weight for each person is different depending on their height. So for me, the healthy weight that is recommended for me is between 60 and 69, or 55 and 69. But for me, I'm aiming for around 65. If I get there, so if I lose another 10 kgs, I think I will be okay, because at the moment I am feeling much better in my body. My clothes are fitting much better. When it comes to like my walking, it's much better. When it comes to me trying to exercise, that's much better. I even feel much more confident in myself, much more at peace with, in my own skin, while before I was really struggling. So I could say the 10 kg loss has made a massive impact in terms of my confidence, in terms of how I feel about myself, in terms of how my clothes are fitting and all that. So for me, the process has been quite okay, compared to, because different people have different experiences and it's not the same for everyone. That's why I keep saying, make sure if it's something that you want to try, you consult with your doctor. So for me, the biggest challenges being on the Mounjaro is, of course, the cost is quite high. So you really need to kind of save up if you want to do so. For me, I have been doing a lot of saving up and cutting down on like other parts of my life, just because this is something that I really wanted to be able to deal with within myself. So I cut down on some costs and then I put them towards this, just because once I reach a certain goal in terms of my weight, I do want to stop and start maintaining my healthy weight by, of course, continuing with the walking, continuing with lifting of the weights, just trying to be healthy. But once I reach my goal weight, I just needed something that will push me to get to that weight that I need to be. So then after that, now I could be able to maintain it, because I was really struggling to actually have, because people have different bodies. There's some people who this is nothing to them. They're able to just lose the weight fast, and also some people who are just naturally petite and this is not like a problem for them. But for me, I just really needed the push, because I was really struggling with it at the time. And once I have that push, I will now be able to now try as much as possible to maintain my healthy weight and work at that. So the side effects, I think I've mentioned that I've got from using the Mounjaro. One of them is the nausea that I get once in a while, feeling a little bit weak, because of course you're not eating as much as you should be eating. Another one is, of course, kind of constipation, or that's a major one. So you always have to make sure you're eating as much fiber as possible. And even I got some fiber vitamins to help me with that. And also sometimes, depending on your body, some people get kind of a running stomach. So I think those are the major side effects that I have experienced. But other than that, it's really helped me. For now, I have been on Monjaro for 16 weeks, which is 4 months exactly. And for me, I think it has really helped me. And I am so, I am grateful for the opportunity to be able to try the medication and be able to see it working on me. And yeah, we will see how the journey will go. So I just wanted to show you my Monjaro. I don't know if you can be able to see it. That's my tiny Monjaro package from my provider. That is the pen there, my 15 mg pen. And then those are yeah. So that is what I normally use on, you need to do it like on a weekly basis. And yes, so I will keep you updated on how the rest of my journey goes. One thing I forgot to mention is that you have to take loads and loads of water, just because the medication makes you so thirsty. So in a day, I try to do at least 3 liters of water, at least, because if I don't, then in the night, I am so thirsty beyond compare. So I try my best, even if I'm not feeling like taking in the water during the day, I try to do at least 3 liters, so that at night I'm not feeling like I'm in a desert. So yes, so that has been my Monjaro experience so far. Of course, because I've just lost a little bit of weight, it is not even as much, because there's some people who have to lose so much more weight than me, and I can sympathize with that. But for me, this is just my journey, and I wanted to share it so that we can all share experiences, because that's the main purpose of my channel, to be able to share experiences and to be able to help each other in this journey. Because sometimes you may feel, because I know some people have noticed that I've lost a little bit of weight, and sometimes you may feel this person may be working out so much, or they're just not eating at all. But it's good to know the story of each person. So for me, my story of my weight loss, which is 10 kgs as of now, and people have had also different things to say. There's some people who are like, okay, now you've lost so much weight, you need to stop. There's some people who are encouraging, and they're like, yeah, you look much better with a little bit of weight off. And for me, it was just for myself to feel confident, to be able to fit better in my clothes, to be able to feel better in my skin. So I mostly did it and also to be healthier, because as you grow older, it gets much more difficult to lose the weight. So I was like, you know what, I need to deal with this now, because it will be much harder when I'm dealing with it when maybe I'm in my 40s and 50s. I need to deal with it now, and then try to maintain a healthy weight, and try to work on myself to be able to, to just be healthy, and to be okay. Because when you have, I feel like, also with my family history, where we've had like people who have diabetes, people who have different weight related diseases, I was just like, I want to be able to, to work on this now, so that when I'm older, I'm not struggling with it, for my future self to not have to struggle as much. So let me struggle now and then let my future self be at a more healthier place than I am now. Yes, so that's my Monjaro journey so far. I will do a part 2 once I get to my goal weight, and we can be able to walk through this journey together. If you're using Monjaro, if it's something that you want, if there's something you want to share on the comments, yes, I am open to knowing your experiences. So thank you so much for joining this episode, which was basically just talking about my weight loss, and of course I will talk about it again, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.